And this time we're gonna go talking about the O, right? Really quickly, and we talked about this yesterday, but the O stands for what, Juan?
Oceanology.
Oceanology? Oceanography, right? Very similar, right? But it's talking about the study of the ocean, and that's our second unit before we go on to the M and the A, which is meteorology, right? And astronomy, right? And remember, we're not only reading it, but we're doing something called annotating it, right? Raising your hand, can someone remind us, what does it mean to annotate this text, Melanie?
Underline the important facts.
Yeah, right, that's a part of annotating, right? We're gonna underline important things, we might circle it, we might add notes to it. Those are things that are going to be helping us really understand this article, because there's some big words in here that really confuse me too.
If you notice in Mr. Chung's class, about 3/4 of the class raised their hand for almost every question. He created that environment. And he created an environment where the students know they can make a mistake.
Because we thought it was going to be magnesium and
Do us a favor. Can you read what it says in bold?
read a graph.
Okay, so where do we see a graph? Yeah. Right, so we can totally look at this, and it's telling us which two elements make up most of the dissolved solids in seawater.
So we can see by the percentage?
Yeah, right, looking at the percentage, looking at the amount that's shaded in, right? What are the two biggest ones?
Sodium and
Chlorine.
chlorine.
Yep. You guys got it.
If you notice, not every student that answered correctly. You notice students mispronouncing words and things like that, and he gently redirected where it was actually so subtle the other students might have not even caught the redirection. But students were eager to try because he believed in them and he believed they could do well. But it's okay to mess up in his class, and that's what we should create as teachers.
I allow students to make mistakes, and yeah, they might get it wrong, but then, you know, big deal. It's a mistake. We get over it. I make mistakes all the time. So my students are used to being safe and making mistakes in my room, which is, I think, a big part of that respect. They understand, hey, it's okay if I mess up. He's not going to hold this against me. And one of the things I definitely make sure to do in the beginning of the year is kind of, I have this single day where I call it Mr. Sturgeon's teacher talk. And it's almost like a TED Talk, but it's just 80 minutes of me telling them about myself. And I think allowing a teacher to open up to students, one, will get you respect, but I also think it allows them, hey, he really cares about teaching. He really cares about me as a student. He cares about me learning. He cares about my future. And that allows them to come in knowing that, like, hey, he's got my back. And when students know that you have their back, even if they have the biggest screw up, I'm never gonna be mad at them.
Mr. Sturgeon is very approachable, so I think that's the biggest key to making a safe environment, because if you ever have a question, it's easy to go up to him and ask him.
Why would somebody who doesn't like a law try to filibuster it?
So they could argue against it.
They could argue against it. That would be good. That would be good. Do you know what sometimes they do? They'll just stand up there and read a book.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just to waste time. That's a filibuster. Now, what'd you learn? How do we stop it?
We do, I say culture? No.
Close?
Cloture, yeah.
Yes. Very
In
good.
which 3/5 of the senators decided to limit the time to 30 hours.
Exactly. Good job. Did you hear that? Pretty good.
Everybody makes mistakes. Not everything is perfect. So regarding that aspect, I'm not really afraid to make a mistake because that's just a part of daily life. And the thing about mistakes is people really need to learn from it. It's not really something that they should beat themselves up over. It's something that, okay, what did I do wrong and how can I improve from that so that it doesn't happen again in the future?